Hey, Internet, Eric here. Interesting one for you today. You may have heard me mention my friend Melissa before. She's the reason why I watched and discussed Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park. She is the reason why, in a drunken state, she took advantage of me. In a drunken state, she and we did watch and discuss a Todd Bridges movie. So I was a little interested today. Or with today's subject, she messaged me and she said, "Have you ever seen this movie?" I said I'd heard of it. I've wanted to see it. I've seen some pictures online, but I never sat down and watched it. And she says I have to see it and I have to review it. So today I'm going to discuss. And what really got me from her request is, to my knowledge, she's not huge into horror, especially the gore. And this is a body horror movie, so that's another reason that kind of kicked me in the ass to discuss The Substance. Now, if you're new to my channel, welcome. I discuss plot spoilers, specific scenes, what have you. This literally came out. It came out this year. I believe it came out back in September. This upload is in December. So watch this at your own risk. You've been warned, but I believe it's on Prime. Basic plot of this is we're following Demi Moore, who is a character named Elisabeth Sparkle, and she was a big time actress. She's got her star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and she is now living her life as the host of a daily aerobics show. And she had just turned 50 and she's fired. She's too old, and according to her producers, to be the lead of that aerobic show. Well, as she's driving home, she gets in a car accident, and the nurse, after the doctor leaves, gives her information about the substance. What the substance is it creates a younger version of herself. I'll get more into it, but there's a problem if the younger version is out there longer than it's supposed to. Uh, Bad things happen. We'll leave it at that. And then by the end of the film, the two beings, I guess you would say, old and young, uh, try to coexist with each other, and it doesn't work. Okay, now I already mentioned spoilers, so we're gonna get into it. I love this fucking movie. This was a blast. First off, Demi Moore. I couldn't tell you the last time I saw Demi Moore. Uh, Charlie's Angels, the second one, and I didn't even watch that one. Um, she's so good in this. First off, bless her heart. Her character is 50. She's 61. She's fully nude in this. She looks good. I read in some, like, full frontal everything, and I read that she was very self-conscious, worried about, she'd done nudity before, but that was like in fucking late 90s. um and then she saw that her co-star was nude as well, and they kind of pushed her. And the scenes where she is nude, it's not a sex scene, it's just her, because this movie's about age. Okay, she's a 50-year-old woman. In this movie, she's being replaced because she's now 50. She's coming to terms with aging. And when she's looking at herself nude in the mirror, you feel for her. Yeah. You really feel bad for her. There's a time when she's going out, getting ready to go out on a date, and she realizes she's not good enough for it. She has this mental breakdown in front of a mirror. You feel for her. But she's really, really good in this. She is, you feel her, you feel for her struggle. You know what I mean? One of my favorite scenes, honestly, is the car crash scene, because she's already she had to go to the bathroom, and the woman's bathroom was out of order, so she snuck into the men's. She's in the stall, and in comes Dennis Quaid, plays the TV producer, and he's shit talking her as she's in the stall, and he can't see her. As she walks out, you feel bad for her. And then she's driving home, and she sees her billboard, promoting her show. They're tearing the face off of it, and that's the symbolism. Then boom, she gets the car crash. Once she takes the substance, um, it's a great scene. It's a great scene where she's starting to convulse. She falls on the bathroom floor. She has, what is it, like a seizure. And then what happens is, you saw the poster. She's got a big surgical scar on her back. What happens is, this is a body horror movie. The younger version of herself, or it's a different being altogether. I mean, it's not like the younger Elisabeth Sparkle, but it's a younger female, I guess you would say. Um, Literally rips out of her back, and that is really disgusting. But to continue with Demi Moore, they have this shared consciousness. So what happens is, while young Elizabeth, that's what I'm going to call her. She picks a different name, I don't remember. Well, young Elizabeth is out living life. the body of Demi Moore, Elizabeth, is laying on the floor. But you have to hook up feeding tubes, this and that. And you can take serums out of her. It's a long process. I'm not going to get into it too much. Watch it for the film for yourself. But you have to transfer your consciousness back or whatever. You have to switch back in like 5 to 7 days. I don't remember. And if you overextend that, that's when the bad things happen. And the younger version is overextending her welcome, overextending her stay. What you find out happens is the side effect, it's causing Demi Moore's character to age like rapidly. So like the first time we see her, one of her fingers is like now the finger of like a 90-year-old woman. And remember, Demi Moore's character is 50. And she progresses more and more. She ages more and more. And the special effects, the practical makeup is Demi Moore. It looks really, really good. One scene, it's her aging. Her hair is now white and stringy, but it's half Demi Moore and it's half the older lady. And the best scene in this movie for me is when Demi Moore, her normal age, she's watching she's watching this younger version get all the glory. She's seeing all the talk shows that she's on, this and that, and it's while she's making her food. And because the Demi Moore character, she is now self-loathing. She's eating herself to death to deal with the depression. And it's a great scene watching her break down. She's talking shit to the TV, to this younger version. I love it. I love the way she's reacting. I love the things she's saying as she's just throwing shit in the fryer. She's breaking up a chicken. She's throwing everything around the room. She's losing her mind. She finally she throws like food on the wall, and she's then like putting newspaper up on the windows to keep all the lights out. And then she goes, switches back. Here comes the young version, and the young version sees the mess, and it's great. The chemistry between them, which I'll get to this actor soon, but Demi Moore is really, really good, and that's my favorite scene. The younger version is played by Margaret Qualley, Annie McDowell's daughter. She's really, really good too. She's super pretty. You can tell how much she loves the fame, and how when she realizes that this fame is fleeting, there's a scene where she brings a guy home and they're making out, and she's starting to overextend the time limit, and she sees things happen. Like she was doing like an aerobics shoot, and there's like this big giant boil that shows up on her butt, like on her thigh, like right by her butt, and she's freaking out. She knows that her time is limited, but she's really, really good, you know what I mean, with the enjoyment of her new life and the fame and the glory, and then also with the limited time. Now there is a spoiler. Again, eventually they're both on screen at the same time, because I think Demi Moore has a failsafe, like one of the needles she can stick it into the younger version and end it, type of thing. She wakes up and there's the two of them battling, and it's a great fight. They have great chemistry when they are on screen together arguing, and it's a great battle. It's gory, it's bloody, it's nasty. Loved it. So both of the leads are great. Dennis Quaid, he's pretty much the only other, I guess you would say, actor who's worth mentioning here. He plays a sleazy TV show producer. He's great, but he's fucking awful as a person. And this director, first off, he's a piece of crap. He trash talks everybody, sexist, nasty. What this director does is a lot of close-ups, a lot of weird angles to make him seem in your face, larger than life. When Demi Moore, before the accident, she's talking about getting fired, he's eating, is it crawdads, crawfish, whatever? I think Melissa called them the cockroaches of the sea, my friend Melissa. And they're close-ups of him just slurping, close-ups of him chewing with his mouth open, shit flopping out of his mouth. He's nasty, disgusting. He's a piece of shit. He does a fantastic job of doing it. The gore in this, fucking good, fucking gross. The body horror, I told you of the young version, popping out of the back, nasty. We get to see her sew Demi Moore's back up. The surgical scar. Eventually, well, first off, the practical effects, Demi Moore eventually turns into like this nasty, naked, hunchback, titties down to her knees. She looks like She looks like if Sloth from the Goonies fucked the old lady from The Shining in the tub and had a 106-year-old baby. Nasty, disgusting. Check out Demi Moore's Instagram. She was posting stuff. Love it. But the practical effects there are really, really good and disgusting. But the gore, there's lots of vomiting. Um, Eventually, the younger Sparkle, I guess you would say, Elisabeth Sparkle, she starts to deteriorate, like in The Fly. We get some teeth pulled out. We get the fucking fingernail coming off. And then it just gets even worse. Because I don't want to spoil the finale too much, but eventually they both become one. It's this gigantic blob creature. There's a decapitation. There is blood shooting everywhere. Um, so disgusting. Lots of holy shit moments. I was yelling at my computer. I loved it. Um, I liked how this really wasn't with this message of aging and sometimes self consciousness that women have. It wasn't really in your face, but it some of the stuff was kind of subtle. I liked how we saw at first, Elizabeth Sparkle. We see her star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and then we slowly see an it age. It starts to get cracked. The crack on the sidewalk starts going. Some guy literally walks around over, and he drops like I don't know, chili on it and like scoops it up or something like that and puts it back in. So we get that. Eventually, when they mix together, we end up back at Elizabeth's star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and she just gets taken out. We'll just say that. So it just shows how you're famous one day and then you're just forgotten the next. And that was great. One thing I read that this is the company wanted this director, Coralie Farjeet, don't know, never heard of her. They wanted her to cut down on the gore, especially during the finale. And she basically told this company, "Fuck you." She found someone else to produce the company, and now 5 Golden Globes nominations. Good for her. I don't remember much of the score, but overall, I don't, no pun intended, I don't know how much more I can gush over The Substance. Now, it might not be for everybody. If you do not like body horror, this might not be for you. But my friend Melissa is not big on the gore, and she, like, this movie is like something we've been talking to each other about for the last couple of days. Highly recommend it. Demi Moore is fantastic in this. Margaret Qualley, so good in this. The practical effects are amazing. The fact that it was Demi Moore under all that practical effects. That scene where she's discussing, like she's yelling at Margaret's character while making the food and have this mental breakdown. So good. Dennis Quaid is such a disgusting asshole. Um, there's some artsy stuff in it. Like there are some title cards when we're going to different acts. Whatever. Highly recommend The Substance. Melissa, you've redeemed yourself for Kiss. I still hate you for the Todd Bridges shit. But you and I are back on good terms. We'll say that. So thank you for motivating me to see The Substance. So that's it. Thank you. Like and subscribe. Click the bell. All that stupid shit. Comment below. Have you seen this movie? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Did it make you want to puke? Great stuff. Highly recommend it. Coming up, me and Frenzy got a couple things in the mix. Some interesting things concerning Friday the 13th and maybe Christmas. More stuff with Patrick. And then I got something planned for next year, which will be cool. Melissa will be an interview next year. Germ T. Ripper will be an interview next year. And the rest, whatever I decide to pull out my ass. But go see The Substance. Fucking loved it. Cheers.